Sullivan, and I am part of the Thursday Tube program, and the title of my story is The Legend of Horse Mountain. Once upon a time, there was a buckskin horse named Aslan. One day, while he was walking through the forest, he found a trail with lots of horse tracks. He followed the trail until he came to a hill where the tracks stopped. He walked to the top of the mountain and took a walk around it. He noticed that the mountain had very good grass, plenty of trees for shade, and water for horses. There was also lots of space. When he took a bite of grass, he decided it was the best grass he had ever tasted. And when he took a drink of water, it tasted delicious. He decided he wanted to live here on the mountain, so he found a special place to sleep where there were no trees. One stormy night, when the wind was blowing and the rain was pelting down, he wished that there was a tree right next to where he was sleeping. Suddenly, a big blast of wind blew right next to him. When the wind settled down, there was a tree big enough to protect him from the weather. He began to think that perhaps the mountain was magic. Then he wished that the storm could go away. Suddenly, another big blast of wind blew through, and suddenly the storm was gone and the night was very clear. The next morning, Aslan walked down the mountain. He saw thousands of horses roaming around, so he invited them to come live with him on the mountain. During the next couple of weeks, the horses began to feel at home on the mountain. One morning, Aslan walked down the mountain to look around. Hearing a cry for help in the distance, he ran towards it. He saw a little girl crying, so he picked her up by her shirt and lifted her on his back. He carried her up the mountain, and on the way up she fell asleep. She looked like she was dreaming. As Aslan showed her around the mountain, she said that her name was Amy and that his was Aslan. The horse was startled, so he wished that he could talk. Another big blast of wind blew through, and the horse was able to talk. Amy asked him how that was possible. As Aslan explained to her that the mountain was magic. Then Aslan asked her why she was crying. She said that her horse had died. Then Aslan asked her if she would like to come live with him and the other horses on the mountain. She agreed. Then she wished that all the horses could talk. A little breeze swept through the mountain, and suddenly the mountain was filled with laughter and talking. The next morning, Amy asked Aslan if she should turn into a horse. Aslan told her that it was her decision, not his. Amy thought for a minute, then said that she really missed her mom and dad. So she asked Aslan if he could take her home. Amy climbed on Aslan's back, and on the way down the mountain, she fell asleep. She said goodbye to all the other horses. When they arrived at Amy's house, her parents bolted out the door. Amy jumped off Aslan's back and hugged them. Then Amy walked back to Aslan and kissed him on the nose. Whispering to him that she would never forget him, Aslan told her that it was time for him to go. With tears in her eyes, she nodded. Amy and her parents watched Aslan walk back to Horse Mountain, where he spent the rest of his life with all the other horses. That is the legend of Horse Mountain.